You sat down to do one thing, maybe read an article, maybe finish a work task, maybe just watch one video. And 2 hours later, you're 3 apps deep, mildly anxious, and you can't remember how you got there. You didn't choose to lose those 2 hours. They were taken, one micro decision at a time, by a system built to do exactly that. The inability to focus isn't a personal failing. It's not laziness or weak discipline or a symptom of your generation. It is the predictable output of an environment engineered with extraordinary precision to prevent deep attention from forming. Today we're tracing the architecture of that system, how it was built, why it works, and why your attention, not your data, not your money, not your time, is the most valuable thing you produce. The attention economy. In 1971, the economist Herbert Simon wrote something that felt almost obvious in hindsight. He said, "A wealth of information creates a poverty of attention." He wrote that before the internet, before smartphones, before the feed. What he was describing was a structural reality, that attention is a finite resource, and that in an information-rich environment, attention becomes the scarce commodity that everything competes for. 50 years later, this observation isn't just an economic insight, it's a trillion-dollar industry. Every major platform on your phone, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X, news apps, email, is fundamentally in the same business. Not the business of connecting you to people, not the business of informing you, the business of capturing and holding your attention for as long as possible and selling access to it to advertisers. This is the attention economy, and you are not the customer, you are the product. But unlike other products, your attention doesn't just get consumed passively. The process of capturing your attention changes it. It rewires the systems that generate it. This is what nobody told you when you signed up. Every major app on your phone was built using a discipline called behavioral design. It draws from psychology, neuroscience, and behavioral economics. Its goal is not to make a useful tool. Its goal is to maximize what designers call time on platform. The number of minutes you stay inside the app before closing it. These are the specific mechanisms they use. The variable reward. This is the most powerful mechanism in the system. It was first studied by the psychologist B.F. Skinner. He found that animals pressed a lever more frequently and more compulsively when rewards were unpredictable than when they were consistent. Random reward schedules produce more behavior than fixed ones. Your social media feed is a variable reward machine. Every time you pull down to refresh, and this pull to refresh gesture was specifically designed to mimic a slot machine lever, you might get something interesting, or you might not. That uncertainty is the engine. It keeps you pulling. The notification system. Notifications are interruptions designed to feel urgent. They are external triggers, a tap, a buzz, a red number, that pull your attention away from whatever you're doing and redirect it to the platform. The average person receives between 65 and 80 notifications per day. Each one is a micro-interruption, and research from the University of California, Irvine found that after an interruption, it takes an average of 23 minutes to return to a state of deep focus. Do the math. If you receive 65 notifications distributed across an 8-hour workday, you are statistically never in a state of deep focus. Infinite scroll. Before infinite scroll, consuming content had natural stopping points. You reached the end of a page, you had to click next. Each of those friction points was an opportunity for your conscious mind to re-engage and ask, do I actually want to keep going? Infinite scroll removed those friction points entirely. Asa Raskin, the designer who invented it, later said publicly that he regrets building it. He estimated it generates 200,000 extra hours of scrolling per day, just on one platform. The architecture of the apps on your phone is not neutral. It was built specifically to prevent you from stopping. Now let's go deeper, because the design only works because of what it does to your biology. Attention is not a single cognitive resource, it's a system. And the most important part of that system is something called the default mode network. The mental state your brain enters when it's not focused on external tasks. This is where your brain consolidates memory, processes emotions, connects ideas, imagines future scenarios, builds the internal narrative you use to make sense of your life. It is the brain's maintenance mode. And for it to run, you need boredom. Not passive boredom, not scrolling boredom. Actual empty time. No input, no stimulation, just quiet. This is exactly what the attention economy has eliminated. Every moment of potential boredom, waiting for coffee, standing in a queue, riding the elevator, is now pre-filled with content. The phone is out before the first second of stillness arrives. And your brain's maintenance system never gets to run. The consequences are significant. Attention fragmentation. The research is consistent. People who spend more time in high-distraction digital environments show measurably shorter attention spans on tasks requiring sustained focus. This is not a character trait, it is an adaptation. Your brain is recalibrating to the input it receives most frequently. Short, stimulating, variable reward signals. Emotional dysregulation. The default mode network is where emotional experiences get processed. When it doesn't run, when it's constantly interrupted before consolidation can happen, emotions accumulate without resolution. This is one of the mechanisms behind the chronic low-grade anxiety that many heavy smartphone users report. Not anxiety from any specific event, just a general persistent unease, a feeling that something is wrong that you can't quite locate. Cognitive residue, every unread notification, every partially completed thought that got interrupted, leaves what researchers call cognitive residue, mental threads that remain open in the background, consuming processing capacity, even when you've moved on. You can't focus fully on what's in front of you because your mind is still trying to close tabs it never got to finish. Stay with me, because the last part of this is the part that actually changes how you use your phone. Here's something important to understand. The system isn't static. It learns. Every major platform runs continuous A/B tests, thousands simultaneously, testing what layouts, what notification frequencies, what content types produce the most engagement. The system is constantly optimizing, in real time, against your specific behavioral data. It is getting better at capturing your attention faster than you are getting better at resisting. And there's a second layer to this that rarely gets discussed. As platforms accumulated behavioral data, they began using it to build predictive models that don't just respond to your behavior, they anticipate it. The TikTok recommendation algorithm is widely regarded as the most sophisticated content delivery system ever built at consumer scale. It can identify your emotional state, boredom, loneliness, sadness, from behavioral patterns, and serve content calibrated to that state. Not content you consciously choose, content that will hold you in that state longest because that state produces the highest engagement. You're not choosing what you consume. A system that knows more about your behavioral patterns than you do is choosing for you, based on what keeps you on the platform, not what is good for you. This is the architecture of digital exhaustion. It is not the result of people choosing to be distracted. It is the designed output of systems that require your attention to function. So what do you do with this? The honest answer is, not what the wellness industry is selling you. Meditation apps don't fix distraction if you're checking them between every task. Digital detox retreats don't address the structural environment you return to afterward. Productivity frameworks collapse under the weight of a notification system that interrupts them every 11 minutes. The interventions that actually matter are structural, not personal. First, environmental redesign. Your phone's default configuration is optimized for maximum platform engagement. Every default notification setting, every app placement, every home screen layout was designed to accelerate your access to the distraction architecture. Change the environment, not your resolve. Turn off all non-essential notifications. Not reduced. Off. Move your most compulsive apps off your home screen. Use grayscale mode. These are not cures, they are friction points. And in a system optimized for frictionlessness, friction is significant. Second, deliberate monotasking. One task, no other tabs, for a defined period. In a high distraction environment, the ability to hold attention on a single thing without switching is a trainable skill. And like any skill, The training is the repetition. Start with 20 minutes, work up, track the resistance. The resistance is the rewiring. Third, reclaim boredom. This is the one most people skip. Not screen-free time with a podcast playing. Not screen-free time with music. Genuinely unstimulated time. No input. Just stillness. This is where the default mode network runs its maintenance cycle. Where ideas connect. Where memory consolidates. Where your brain rests in the only way that actually restores it. This time is not wasted. It is the investment that makes everything else possible. Your attention is finite, non-renewable within the day. And there are systems, sophisticated, well-funded, continuously improving, that exist to consume it before you decide what to do with it. The first step to reclaiming it is understanding who it belongs to. Your attention is the most valuable thing you produce. Every app on your phone knows that. The notifications, the variable rewards, the infinite scroll, the algorithmic calibration. They are not features you can thank the developers for. They are extraction systems, built to take the thing you most need to build anything meaningful, your sustained directed focus, and redirect it for profit somewhere else. This is not a personal failing. This is an architectural problem. And now that you see the architecture, you can start to design your own. Your attention is the most valuable thing you produce. Every app on your phone knows that. The question is, do you?